Welcome to Castrol Activ Champions, and today we're looking at someone who in his peak was actually called Champion of Champions because of course he went to 85 in Australia and he won there. Our Castrol Activ Champion today is Ravi Shastri. I'm studying in Hyderabad and I used to read the little newspaper clippings that came in the Times of India which came in the evening, and one name caught my eye there. It was always Ravi Shastri 3 for something and 32. And then I read that this very same Ravi Shastri had been flown to Wellington in New Zealand as a very young man, suddenly picks up 15 wickets in 3 matches, and you say, wow, we found a left arm spinner. Is he Dilip Doshi? We don't know, we don't care. He can bat a little bit as well. And so you started to follow Ravi's career very closely. I thought one of the big moments in his life actually came early in 83. India and Pakistan. India is struggling and Gavaskar finds something in the young man and says, will you open the batting? Now at moments like these, you find people's character. A lot of people have said, sorry, I'm just making the move up to 6-7 man. Why do you want to have me opening the batting? And Ravi said, yes. He got 100, he got another 100 in 1984. By 1985, there's Ravi Shastri ready when India go to Australia for the World Championship of Cricket. He'd won the World Cup with the Indian team in 1983 before, didn't have such a big part to play in it, but through 84-85 he had started to emerge as a left-arm spinner who was scoring a lot of very valuable runs at 6 and 7. So by 85, Ravi Shastri is not only ready, but because Gavaskar wants to bat in the middle order, Ravi Shastri gets to open the batting in Australia. And guess what he did there? Lowish scoring one-day matches. You needed someone to hold the side up at the top. Shrikant is a swashbuckling hero. Ravi Shastri is the calculating person. Before the last game, he knows, I need to do that much. India win, I get the car, and sure as ever he did. But that was one of Ravi Shastri's highest points in a low-scoring series as an opening batsman, protecting that side. They had a lot of veterans down the middle, but you still needed to protect the top. That was what the tournament was about, and you saw for the first time that Ravi was playing that protector role. Much like Castrol Activ Actibonds, protect your bike engine, whether it's running or off. Then came 1986 for Ravi Shastri, the tight test. Guess who's in the middle of it all? Should he have taken a single? Should he have not? Ravi was forthright as ever when I asked him that. He said, my primary job, and I was actually talking loudly like Ravi, am I not? My primary job was to ensure that India didn't lose the game, and he ensured that India didn't lose the game. I thought 87 during the World Cup in India was when Ravi was bowling at his best. Ravi Shastri, Maninder Singh really bowling well. I thought that was his height as a left-arm spinner. But by 1990, when India went to England, Bishan Singh Bedi walked across to him and said, Ravi, will you open the batting? And he said, yes, if you give me the entire series. To the eternal credit of Bedi, the coach, and Shastri, the opening batsman, the deal was agreed upon. He got 100 at Lord's, and I remember saying that Ravi batted was stately like the Qutub Minar. In those days, he was slim and tall. He was like the Qutub Minar, but he was also timeless. He just stood there and he blocked and he wore down the attack. And I said, can't Ravi score big ones? I think he made 170 or 180 in the next one. He came looking for me. He said, Bogle, can I score the big ones? I said, Shastri, I'm delighted you can. You can see we go a long way back. Ravi, I thought, was a cricketer who made the most of what he had. He was tough. There was that steeliness about him. Sadly, injuries finished him in 1992. He said to me, his surgeon said, you play any more cricket and you could end up being a cripple with the knees the way they are. And yet he found enough in him to give back to Bombay cricket. He always said, I will give back to where I came from. And he took, literally, as we said in those days, a bunch of children and won the Ranji Trophy with Mumbai in 1993 and then crossed over to our side. I found him to be a powerful voice in broadcasting, someone who's happy to tell it as it is. In our early years of broadcasting together, we were in South Africa. Mike Dennis was the match referee. I'm sitting with me, I think it might have been Sunil Gavaskar, Ravi Shastri in studio after a really tempestuous day. Players have been banned, and suddenly next thing I look around and says, Ravi saying, hang on! There's a press conference going on and Ravi storms out of the studio. We're looking at each other. Next thing we know, Ravi's in the press conference asking questions to Mike Dennis. Only Ravi could do that.
He was the first of the Indian commentators, player-turned-commentators, who took it seriously. And he told me that 6 months before starting commentary, he'd actually started practicing, sitting in front of a television set and trying to do commentary himself. And that dedication he brings to it. You see, Ravi never does anything by half measures. What you had with Ravi is, one, his forthrightness. He was extremely forthright about what he said. He was very direct about what he wanted. And once he gave you a commitment, he'd do it. I've called Ravi Shastri at 5:30 in the morning for a shoot. A lot of other cricketers would have said, I'll land up at 7. Ravi Shastri would grumble, scream, shout, but if he said he'd come at 5:30, he'd come at 5:30.
I have only one complaint, Ravi. All those big moments that you got, you should have given me one. Yuvraj Singh 6 sixes, there's Ravi Shastri. World Cup 2007, there's Ravi Shastri. World Cup 2011, but you know what, Ravi? They still listen to, people still call out those moments in your voice. So very well done. And then he moved on to being the team director. Again, bang in the middle of a broadcasting career. There we are in England broadcasting. Next thing we know is he's off again. This time to be team director because India are going through a really tough tour of England in 2014. Since then, in, out, but he's found a niche with Virat Kohli. And dare I say, his job now is with this whole bunch of hugely talented youngsters coming in. I think Ravi's got to hold their hands and protect them, look after them as they make their careers. So, Ravi's future as a protector of young talent, much like Castrol Activ's Actibots. Protect your bike engine whether it's running or off. So Castrol Active champions, we had Ravi Shastri today, said champion of champions back in 1985. Yeah, Ravi's been a champion because champions make the most of what they have.